I got to admit, every once in a while, not every once in a while, always in the back of my mind, there's this idea that, you know, I'm a little silly. This prepping thing's a little silly. It's just a fun hobby. It's something for poor people to do to make themselves have a sense of adventure. Uh, and but then something like today happens, and uh, we're always. I don't mean we, but there's always people running around with their hair on fire, waving their hands in the air. Zika's going to kill us, bird flu's going to kill us, swine flu's going to kill us. Next year it'll be zebra flu. There's always something that everyone's all scared about that's going to kill us. And it's easy to start dismissing some of this stuff. And most of it does need to be dismissed. Zika's not going to kill you. But then today, a pipeline, we think it collapsed, the gas pipeline in Helena, Alabama collapses. It only spills, I believe it was 650,000 barrels of gasoline. Not a lot of gasoline, but the pipeline feeds from Houston to New York City. It feeds the entire East Coast with gasoline. Now Georgia, Alabama, and I want to say Tennessee have declared states of emergency because they think they're going to run out of gasoline. People might they're also saying people need to go to the grocery store and stock up on essentials like a hurricane or a natural disaster. In fact, they said they're treating it like a natural disaster because a 50-year-old, 60-year-old section of gas pipelines collapsed. They don't even know for sure what happened yet because they haven't been able to dig down to it. The gasoline is still putting off a lot of vapor. As they say, it's unsafe. So, as much as sometimes we want to make, I sometimes question that the whole prepping thing or the societal collapse. Then something like today happens, and you realize you're reminded once again how tenuous, how fragile this entire system we've built up for ourselves is. Where a 60-year-old pipeline could probably just rust it out. I mean, it's 60 years old. It's buried underground. It's metal. It probably just rusted out. And it's going to shut down, it's going to impact 50 million people and possibly shut down portions of the East Coast, certainly the Southeast. When you see things like this and how far they can go and how big their impact can be, suddenly you start questioning everything. How secure is everything else, We don't need the planet Nibiru to be on collision course with Earth. We don't need EMPs and nuclear war and CDC engineered viruses or any other kind of crazy science fiction threat you can come up with. The world around us is just filled with threats. I'm not fear mongering here. I don't want my hair on fire, running around waving my hands in the air. We're all going to die. But this system we've built, this incredible era of peace and prosperity, is so fragile and it's so unique in history that it's just this little tiny flare of light. It's like this little match strike in the darkness of thousands of years of human bondage and slavery and poverty. And this idea we have that it's going to last forever is hubris at best, and just lunacy, most likely. So there you go. Are we going to die? Is the economy going to collapse today because of this gas pipeline broke? No. It is going to be another little stressor. This is one more little thing, just combining with a bunch of other things that are starting to nudge us closer and closer towards the cliff, I think. Of course, who knows? This is early now. They still don't even have a handle on this thing yet. They really don't know what's going to happen. But most likely it's midweek, Wednesday, Thursday. This is going to be over. Gas is going to be flowing again. No big deal. Even if the pipeline's not back up, they'll start trucking. They'll have the tanker trucks rolling. No one's gonna. This isn't the beginning of the end here, but it's a real good reminder that, man, this system is so complex and it's so involved that we never know what could happen. Just got to get prepared, man. You got to be, and being, that doesn't mean, you know, you have to have 500 gallons of gasoline stored on your property. Has to mean, it means you have a plan or an idea, or you've at least thought about what would happen if you don't have gasoline in your car. Right? That's being prepared. Being prepared isn't spending a bunch of money and never having to, you know, having enough resources to live your entire life if everything collapses. It's looking at the situation that could result, and are you willing to do what it takes to handle it? You know, I've thought about it. I've got a bicycle. I live 5 miles from work. You know, if this situation gets too far out of hand, no big deal. I'll ride my bicycle to work. We have food stores set up here. You know, we might not be living high on the hog until this thing blew over if it got stupid, but we'd be okay. We don't have to worry about it out here. The worst thing that happens is we run out of chicken feed in 2 weeks or something, you know, and there's ways to work around that too. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of guys with videos out there about this, but it's one more little straw. The camel's knees are buckling, and it's one more little reminder that our world is not as safe and ordered and infallible as we think it is. Thanks, guys.